Hello, hello, hello. Once again. We should be live. We are doing some physics stuff for gameplay. And Twitch is not working again. As you would expect. Yes, we're back on Windows today. Let me just get up the YouTube chat. Let's get it up, hey? At least attempt to. While that's getting up, I'll restart Twitch a couple of times. That seems to do the job. It doesn't matter what... No. Modeless dialogues, eh? Okay, so... we should be good, looks like. We're unstable on Twitch. And... I don't know what that means. Looks like we're good on YouTube there. Yep. By the looks of things. Alright, I have no clue if I'm good on Twitch. Let's, Are we good on Twitch? Sorry about this faff that I don't really get why we have to do this. Yes. Okay, we are good. Okay. It is working. Okay, so we've got the chats open. Let's get live chat open instead of top chat. Alright. Particle physics for gameplay. So, the general idea... let me just grab... Let me put everything back. I was playing with stuff earlier. I think we're going to restore the player real quick. We're probably going to leave particles out. So I merged I did a little extra commit. I've done a little extra stuff before. Let me just show you where we're up to if you weren't tuned in before. So, okay. Right. We should build relatively quickly. And we should also need... We need the skybox, yes. And we need the... This needs to be 8,888, which is... Or 9, doesn't really matter. We should have 8,888 entities in the scene. Yep, that sounds about right. We have... Oh, I forgot about this. Yes, we need to fix that. Okay, so we're also going to try and fix this today. I completely balked. Yeah, I think that's the first thing we should fix, because this is a regression that I said I was going to fix. I completely forgot we did. This was an issue. The rocks in the scene aren't textured properly anymore. I don't exactly know why or what's happened here. It's something to do with the way I've loaded the texture, so I'm going to blame myself on this one. We might check out our own GitHub and like try and restore back what we've been doing. So yeah, that is what we're going to be doing today. All right. Okay. So yeah, models first, then particle physics for gameplay. I completely forgot about our models being being poorly. All right. Okay. So we have our scene. Let's start from the top. Of course, we have initialization. We have two models here. Rock GLB. Interesting. I thought that this was the case for our rock. Interesting. Let me just check my assets real quick. So in our assets, we have shaders, textures, models. Yep, okay. Yeah, so we have... Oh no, we just have rock. Interesting. Is that optimized? I don't know. Let's see how big it is. 347 meg versus the duck, which is... Just make sure I'm actually... Yeah, okay. I can... Yeah, 780 kilobytes. Versus this, which is... I have a suspicion here we don't have the model we care about. So let's go back to our documents real quick. And see, we should have a rock GLB here. So what's the original? That's the original? 3.47 meg. Then we have, yeah, 2.6 meg. And then we have a really compressed one, which I think we did end up starting to use that. Let's get both. Let's just compare them. Yeah, I didn't realize I wasn't using the optimized models. Now, for those who don't know, a GLTF pack is a piece of software that allows you to rearrange data within the GLTF files. It's a bit loud today. Oh, a fun fact: the UK and I guess Greenland and maybe Spain and Spain and France. Yes, that's right. We're going to experience a solar eclipse today, which is kind of cool. So yeah, that's going to be exciting. Anyone in the UK, UK, Greenland, I guess, or somewhere southern continental Europe, feel free to check it out. Just make sure you don't blind yourself looking at the sun. You can give yourself permanent eye damage. I shouldn't have to say that, but just in case. Someone was on the news because I was checking out what time it was. It's around 6 o'clock for us. That's when it starts, and it peaks around 7:30. So yeah, a little bit after tea for me, which is perfectly timed. Honestly. So yeah, some guy when I was checking out the news, which I don't really do very often. In 1999, we had a crazy solar eclipse, which was a total solar eclipse. This one isn't quite the same. It's going to be a partial solar eclipse with most of the sun covered, apparently. About 91% where I live, which is still a lot. But anyway, when basically 100% was covered, this guy was looking at the sun through welding glasses, or welding mask even, and he gave himself permanent eye damage from doing that. So yeah, do be careful out there if you're going to look at the sun. I'm trying to build... hello, Midnight Hammer. I'm trying to build your engine on Linux. Where are the assets? Where to download? I unfortunately don't have assets to give away to build. The problem is I don't know where to store them. That's the first question, and the second issue is, yeah, these assets here that you're looking at, that I've got here and all this. Eventually, I'm going to have to pay an artist or start buying assets, and I don't really want to set the precedent that I've already started to give them away. But I will give you these, the location anyway. So this dock is, oops. You would just need dock and rock, I think, and the textures. Oh, I actually don't know how to give you these at all, because I've started to compress these things. Yeah, my engine's getting less and less buildable, honestly, unless I start zipping up these assets. I think what I might end up doing in one of these streams one day, Midnight Hammer, is probably having some demo assets or something, because I don't really have a... I mean, all you have to do, honestly, is just change this to do whatever you want, effectively. I mean, it's open source, so you can just use your own assets. Obviously, it won't look the same, but there will be, unfortunately, a little bit. It should do a bit more than just what I'm able to throw at it. But yeah, like I said, these assets are deliberately not online, because I don't really know how to handle that in the future. But yeah, like I said, these assets are deliberately not online, because I don't really know how to handle that in the future. Because I don't really know how to handle that in the future. Ah, your wife makes assets for you. Hello, Ratchet. Hello, hello, hello. That's really cool that you've got a wife. Hello, Dimitri, as well. Good. Thank you for setting up, guys. You can't imagine anything more expensive. Half the salary. Yeah, it is. Exactly. It's art assets are extremely expensive. It is brutal. But anyway, let's see how we do. We get a crash. So for those who've just tuned in, I realized that I'm not using the optimized assets. And that's causing issues. So I can't remember which one works. You should mention that in the SH file, which models and textures and so on are not included. True. You know what? I'll do that now. I think you're probably right. Let me open up the. Yeah, sorry about the disappointment there. Let me open up the README MD. I think this is the one that ends up on GitHub. This is the most. Yeah, I think he meant README. Yeah, so I'll throw that in. Assets. Yeah, actually, I'll do this on master. I'll commit this completely separately. I'll just pause everything just to do this. Because that's a really good observation, actually. It's something I've completely not thought about. So, yeah, let me do that real quick. So, I'll just stash that real quick, whatever I was doing. And check out master. And we'll just commit this straight up, I think. Yeah, pull. This is mostly just the space branch. Oh, okay. Yeah, I can throw it in there. I can throw it everywhere, basically. I don't really have a way to build demo assets like on the fly or anything like that either, so I'll do both, right? I'll do it. It doesn't really matter. Let me just get everything up to date. Okay. But yeah, README is also important, I think, as well. So assets. Assets are not included with the game engine's source code. There is no way. Like I said, I don't know how to do this, but I might end up having like dummy assets that you can just like run the engine. I might do that. Should we do that? Let me think about this for a bit. Actually, I'll just type this out first, and one thing at a time, there is no download for links. There isn't a download link for assets either. Reasons. Eventually, I will end up paying for assets. I'll just actually, I can do this together in one sentence with an or, right? Eventually, or I will work with an artist and the game. So I will not be able to distribute. What am I spelling wrong here? Yeah, I'll do. Yeah, it's a good point there. Thank you for bringing this up, by the way, Hammer. The assets for the that I am using in videos, live streams, or in a video game. Okay. Something like that. I think that's reasonable. I mean, it's possible in the future that I work with an artist who wants their assets distributed, but I don't know. I don't want to set of the expectation to users that I'm giving assets cool. Anyway, right, that's basically that done. I can also, for those who won't read this, throw in a quick echo or something in the scripts. So let's do it for these fellas. Echo. No assets. I mean, for me, obviously, because I copy and paste them around my computer. Assets that are I'll say the assets don't come with the source code. Yep, that's fine. Let's just make sure that actually does what I want. Okay, so it's just gonna echo that out. Okay. Important. I mean, obviously, like I said, you can change them how you want. It is open source after all. You can completely rip my engine apart and do what you want with it, source code wise. Okay, let's throw this in the. I'll do Windows first, then Linux. And we'll just give it a quick run. Close this for a minute. Oh, didn't I save it? Yeah, I had a feeling that wouldn't work. Oh no, it did. Okay, there it is. Okay, if I CLS the screen, yeah. Cool. And for Linux, I assume echo is exactly the same, but with quotes, because I don't really know exactly. I think spaces mean something different, so let's get that in there. In fact, I already got an echo command anyway. Right. Yep. Yeah, for Linux is yeah. Got it. Thank you. Yeah, we'll push this all up. Yeah, thanks for understanding, by the way, Hammer. Or being understanding. Okay, so I should put this above the make directory. Okay. Right, I'll assume that works on Linux. I think echo is one of the simplest commands, so it doesn't really need aggressive testing. It's in the README project and the physics. Maybe you should put the KTX in here as well. Whatever. I'll worry about that later. Okay, cool. Let's commit this up. Let's give this a quick push. Straight on master. Okay. Yeah, because if you've asked this, I think someone else asked this ages ago. I should have just put this in a README months and months ago when I actually got asked this the first time. Added a README update on assets and added it to the scripts too for extra clarity. Oops, clarity. Nice, let's give this a push. Okay. I know how it is. Since I made my own Vulkan engine, my own Vulkan engine worse than yours, but I think it's more optimized. Oh, okay, yeah. Or more optimized has less features. Makes sense. I like how you ignore the nasty Visual Studio interface and work with... Yeah, I don't understand how on earth anyone works with Git with Visual Studios. I can understand how if you've got a different tool like Fork. I've heard that's quite good, but I don't... Yeah, I just remember the commands myself. Yeah, I don't know what they cooked with Visual Studios. Okay, cool. That should be up. Let's just triple check. I'm just going to check GitHub. Yeah, thanks for checking out my project, by the way, Hammer, as well. That's also, I do appreciate that. Oh, and good luck with your engine. I'm sure you'll absolutely crush it. That should be on the internet now. Yep, okay, cool. Fantastic. Okay, and let's get back to space. And git dash apply. Git status. Okay, everything's good in the hood. And we should regenerate the project, even if it's just a dirty version where we don't do it clean. Because we did swap branches. Alright, cool. I see, you called a lot of stuff. That's really impressive. I haven't yet done the culling. I'm tempted to do it, to be honest. It might be it's on the list. It's quite high up there. Because view frustum, I mean, it's like the most basic culling, right? View frustum culling. I think like you just need to add it if you've got a 3D game at some point. There's no drawback to it, especially with GPU-driven rendering. You just, plow through a compute shader and then call it a day at the end, right? Anyway, okay, so what do I want to do here? So, oh yeah, we were doing textures. Dealing with textures and all that kind of fancy stuff. And hello on Twitch chat. I hope the Twitch chat is coming through. It should be. I think I've got it open. We'll see. Let's just check. Is it working? Yeah, okay, it is working. Oh, and I also added a I'll do this on YouTube eventually, but I've added a on the Twitch chat anyway. I've added a custom month subscription emoji thingy. Anyway, all right, yeah. So this is what we need to worry about. So it's when we create the image. 4.9 milliseconds. That's sweet. Yeah, 16 is kind of what you want to be at. I don't know what your goal is with FPS milliseconds in a frame. FPS. What am I, a noob? Okay. And for what texture is that actually? Let's check. Call stack. Where are we? What texture? What are we doing? What are we loading? We are loading. We do have some data, which is KTX2. Very nice. The raw buffer data. Okay, so it's definitely not null. I can put it that way. We have a size of this. Cool. The error says an assert was just triggered. For reference, escape points. Yeah. 2.9 million triangles. Maybe pre-culling. I don't know. I don't know. Midnight. What model you've cooked up? Maybe I don't know. Are you thrashing your engine or something? Regardless, whatever. I know I've called a bunch of triangles based on pre-processing. We've done that through GLTF pack, which I assume like reduces everything down. If you want, I can upload the code on a brand new branch of my engine with a screenshot. You can post it anywhere. I mean, if you want to talk about your project, we do have a Discord. You can post it in there, no problem. If you wanted to post a screenshot or something like that, if that's what you felt like you wanted to do, you don't have to do. You don't have to do anything. Your job in this stream, honestly, like I say to everyone, is to chill, have a good time. I'm not going to take anyone's... I'll just take... When it comes to like what people are doing, I just take your word for it. I don't think too hard. It's one of these things where I'm like, well, I've got enough to think about on the actual coding. So it is what it is. I go by the policy I'll assume you're all correct out of your absolute correct on the sticks when it comes to coding. Out of your mind until proven otherwise. Just because, why not? If I hold you guys to a high standard, then it allows me to be like, all right, I've got to keep going. I've got to keep, doing well. Maybe I can deal with 218 million triangles with advanced culling techniques in the future too. That'd be cool. Right, okay, so what is wrong here? We're just getting the problem is we're getting an assert. But I don't know what the error is because it's just asserting with just this. Okay, let's look at this. Hang on. So, yeah, this assert is not equal to full. What? Oh, Vulkan assert code is that? It seems a bit strange. That seems like junk. Which is confusing. Or it's -1. It could be... Hang on. Is the VK error assigned integer error code? Go to that, please. Let's go. So, okay, here. Yeah, okay, so we might be... Yeah, okay. I think I've got to be careful here. So, yeah, that doesn't make sense. That is an unsigned variable. Let's just go with D. And hopefully that tells us something, right? That's a mistake, which is nice to catch. -3. Okay, that makes more sense. That was a very silly mistake there, but here we are. Okay, so -3 is what? What are you telling us? Error initialization failed. Huh. Okay. Error initialization failed. Because of what? Do we have... So VK... Okay. What do we have here? We are creating an image view. Let's see the arguments real quick. Yeah, so this is the image that we're writing out to. So I assume these are all... It's the VMA allocator. Right, so what has happened here? And this is for textures. Do we have... Does this have data in it? So we have initial data of... sRGB. I mean RAG8, B8, A8. Huh, where are we? We are loading a model, right? Load textures. Yeah, the buffer data. Okay. We're here. We have the We really shouldn't do that. Oh. Why are we doing this one? That's what's happened. We should have loaded the KTX2 one, but we didn't. Because we didn't select the format. Yeah, okay, so that's the only way we're distinguishing these two, I think. Alright, so I've made a mistake here. I'm using the wrong function, I think. Yeah, if we're using the KTX2... Yeah, okay, so that is on. So we need to... There's a couple of things I don't like about this right now, anyway. Alright. So that's like Barristo exterior at 4.9 without any culling. Oh, 75 Barristo exterior. Jeez, that'd be crazy. Wow, that'd be impressive. I wonder if... sorry, I'm getting a bit distracted by this discussion. Oh, I didn't start my workout timer thing. I'll just start on my phone real quick. Thank you for bearing with me there. Okay. When I was... Oh, actually, what am I doing? I can just... Right, please excuse the flashing. It's not that... It's not, like, terrible, but it isn't good. If I go to here... I was coding a Niagara project called Falls. This is Zux's or Arseny Kapulkin's series on YouTube on how to build a modern up-to-date renderer. Ah, okay, I can't run it. I'm not going to bother then. I wonder if... Does it still just work? No. That's because... They probably can't find the assets. And if it can... Okay, I'm just going to move that. I'm going to do a copy. If this doesn't work, I'll ignore this other data. Okay. No, okay. I don't know. The reason I'm bringing this up is because I'll go on my GitHub because I do have a screenshot. I was rendering a lot of triangles with this. We're using meshlets. But it wasn't quite as... Yeah, what were we doing here? Yeah, I got to 23 million triangles. And I was running at 2.19. You can see that what I'm looking at, just so you can see it closer, is up here on the title. You see this? That's the milliseconds, how much time... Well, I'm not sure if these are added together. But anyway, oh, I think it's the total frame. That's how long it took on the CPU. We do the culling algorithm. We have level of detail. We have meshlet culling with view-frustum culling. And we were drawing... Yeah, we had 23.3 million triangles with these cats. And Arsini and I, which because I was following his, right? I was spamming the absolute living hell out of with non-textured triangles. So yeah, it would be interesting to see how someone got close to 218. Anyway, that had a lot more culling in it. That's all. I have a 4070 RTX working. Hi Void, working for the game. Yeah, we're trying to do the game today, but unfortunately the texturing is not working. Void, that's the. Oh, vertices. Yeah, so maybe if I would. Sorry, didn't quite understand that. I actually don't know what the vertices would be because is it just that times 3? I don't know. I don't know if vertices get reused multiple times. I don't know. Yeah, thanks for clearing up midnight. I guess yeah. I don't know either. I wouldn't know if these triangles are like reused and stuff like that. I can't say. Like, would we have more than one vertex if we have, I don't know, triangles stuck together? I guess I need to look up my Euler's formula or whatever it's called. But whatever. I thought you invented nanite. Got ya. Twitch stream is not working. Oh no, really? I thought it was working. Oh, it's crashed again. No. Okay, let me try and resurrect Twitch. I didn't. Thank you for letting me know, the big loose goose. What am I pausing? That doesn't need to be paused. That needs to be paused though. It was working before. Right, so I've cancelled it. Let's go live again. Oh, this is such a piece of poop. Nope. Nope, maybe. Is it working now? I'll have to refresh. I do apologize, Twitch users. I didn't realize the... No, it's still bad. Okay. Why is it stopped working now? Alright, let me look at my settings real quick and make sure we're not on something it can't understand. Not that. Where was the bit rate that we saw yesterday on Linux? Because maybe it's something to do with the fact that... Okay, I don't want to change the resolution, that's fine. And we saw this yesterday. I could change the... No. Oh, this is so annoying. Output? That was it. Okay, I think I changed this to 1.6, this. Because I've heard that's good. Enable custom decoder now. Audio bit rates. I mean, I can try the other ones here, but I'll try that for now and see how that goes. So we're just going to increase the bit rate and see if that like plays nice with Twitch, or has the opposite effect. Oh, this is very. Okay, so we do seem to be okay on Twitch right now. So we've been alive for 21 seconds. So it looks like that was closer to what we needed. Yeah, thanks for telling me, the Big Loose Goose. As far as I'm aware, anyway, let's go to Twitch real quick. Ask point, my name my mother and father gave me. Yep, okay. We're definitely live. Okay. As long as it stays live. I didn't realize it died. Sorry, Twitch chat. Welcome back. Welcome back to the realm of the internet. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll keep my eye on it. Yeah, apologies even. Let me pop out the Twitch chat. Okay, cool. Wow, 15 gigs of VRAM. Jeez. Yeah, these are my specs. If you're interested, I will paste them in here. Specs. I have misspelled something. I need to fix this. Assuming the bot is alive. Yep. There you go. Yo, I've learned some basic C++ and really want to dive deep into Vulkan. My goal is to create my own voxel game engine using my own engine. But I don't know where to start. I'd love to hear your advice. You're on the right path. Keep learning C++. If you know only basic C++, it's going to be very difficult for you to... It's going to be very difficult for you to do things that you want if C++ constantly gets in the way. I do have a roadmap on my in my Discord if you are interested in graphics. It doesn't tell you how to specifically make a voxel game engine. It's more general. So yeah, check that out if you're interested. And yeah, that should get you somewhere. Computers feel like luxury again. Yeah. Yeah, I don't have a GR force. I have a G force. I keep looking at like I need to update that and keep forgetting. Okay, let's get back into what we were doing. So we have exit code 3. Yes. When's the RTX 6090? Yeah, that'll be when I'm gonna make my game only run on the 6090 exclusively. I'm just gonna spam the screen, make it run at 60 FPS only on that graphics card. The triangle simulator or something. Right, what are we doing here? So we want to see... So yeah, we're trying to load something that doesn't exist, and that was the issue. And where were we? Let's go back, go back, go back. Here. Okay, so we want... Yes, here's a mistake here. Sorry, I need to peek at this and get our block 7. RGBA for now. Gonna be indiscriminate with this. And it's not that. Oh, I think it's the other way around. I think it's after this, right? It's not. Interesting. Okay. What is it then? File path. We have GPU. File path. Okay, so there's not... I don't want the file path version. So, okay, that's SB image. That's the file path version. Okay, so this is a bit inconsistent. Where do I put this? Fine. I mean, it's not that much of an inconsistency, to be honest. But all right, so this is for, yeah, KTX. Oh, it's false. Okay, so let's go back to scene. Yeah, these are both KTX2 textures. Well, will be anyway. So I'm editing something that isn't even correct at the moment. OP. Okay. Hello, Forsaken. Update. Thank you for joining us in the live stream. What happened to the stream? It just loads. I reloaded, it works. Okay, cool. Thank you. Do you think there are differences when I use Vulkan rather than a library like Raylib? Yes. Or Godot engine? Yes. You can think of it as like I think of it as like a, you know that iceberg, right? I just spell iceberg. Is it like that? Probably not. It's probably okay. It's just very simple. That classic iceberg image. Like oh wow, there we go. This, right? Like Godot would be up here, right? Like Raylib and well, other stuff like that would be here, right? And then like Vulkan is like even lower. It's like down here, and then you've got people who are writing their own graphics libraries as well, right? Not using any libraries at all, like down here. And then you got Terry A. Davis writing his own operating system. Then he's like down here, right? Okay, so that's like the levels of like complexity when it comes to using stuff. So yeah, you want to make sure that you're like open. So like, it's not necessarily easier, by the way. Making something good is very difficult, no matter how you go about it. It's just, you know, as you progress down, it typically, not always. Game engines can actually be faster than using a game engine. But yeah, typically, in the most standard case, especially for 3D games, it gets harder as you move your way down. Like if you're making a whole operating system, or if you're using Raylib, SFLM, Godot, Unity, kind of up here, and we're kind of like in the middle, using Vulkan, but using libraries as well to support our development. DuckOP indeed. So yeah, hopefully that makes sense. That's like that's my internal visual metaphor. So yeah, if you hear someone saying Raylib, they're what I would call like a level above us. When I say us, I mean like Vulkan developers and stuff like that, because that has a bunch of framework and support built into the to their libraries to help with game development. It's not easy. It's not like using a game engine, but it's closer. But anyway, okay, let's dive in. And so we should be hitting the. So this is actually incorrect, but that's fine. This is where it should be. I made the mistake in the wrong place. So yeah, so we have an image. We do it like this. I'm assuming that we just have a GLB file here rather than a GLTF file. Right, so let's just see what happens. I think we're going to get more information from it crashing. Okay, so where are we? Godot allows making draws through rendering server, which is some high-level representation of Vulkan. A server, interesting. I assume you mean that it's like an interop rather than necessarily like a web server or something like that. KTX, loading KTX memory. Why is this struggling? It's weird. Unknown format. Okay. And we got... We didn't transcode it? Oh, we don't need to though, do we? Oh, it's a PNG. Right, okay. Why are you a PNG? I thought I said OP. Or is Duck OP2? Sorry about this, guys. I didn't realize I wasn't loading my optimized assets. Server just means server pan. Thank you for the clarification. That's fantastic. Yeah, I had a feeling it wasn't. You didn't mean, you know, server is in something that serves you. Yes. Okay, sort all my assets. I need to delete some of these like intermediate assets that are kind of like half optimized. Let's see the difference. Oh, wait. Right, okay, so we don't have the assets that I care about. We have the PNG versions. What the hell's gone on here? Alright, yeah, that's more like it. These two. That are 80 kilobytes, which is correct. Alright, so I'm gonna get these over as well. So let's go over here. And paste these in on models. This is because I've recently been in Linux land. So, alright, so let's see what we end up with. Yes, it will. Yes, that's exactly what it is. YT exploring. Right, so we have unknown format. The data is a PNG. Okay, so I assume that OP2 is super compressed. Design patterns are like some practical experience, wisdom stuff. Yeah. Yeah, okay, there we go. Ta-da! And that should be good. Oh, there we go. Look at that. The problem fixed itself. The textures are relatively fine. Yeah, let's just make sure that there's no seams or weird normal mapping issues. I mean, if you really dig, you will see the seams. So yeah, now we're using... I didn't realize I wasn't using the KTX textures. That's kind of silly. We spent a lot of time on that, and then I wasn't even using them. I've got the raw assets there, so I can refer to them later. Okay, so OP2 and ROC2 are the two things we care about. Whereas ROC1, I've forgotten. Which one's smaller? This was 2.6. And this is... Okay, no, it's... Okay. Fantastic. What about this server? I don't use that pattern. I don't think I've ever used it, actually. That's kind of a new one on me. Okay, cool. Very good. Nice. Right. Okay. What do I want to do next? That was the other thing. I was thinking of improving this a little bit, but maybe it's fine. Yeah, I do have a mistake in my engine. I think I might commit that, yeah. Even if it's a tiny commit, it's worth it, I think, just because it's going to break up the code a little bit. So I just had, like, a general mistake there. And I also need to make sure that we have the right assets. So I just need rocks and ducks here. In the source location. Because that's what's happened. A regeneration of the project's wiped my assets that I need. Fortunately, I had stuff laying around, so I didn't have to mess around with it. Yeah, replace. Alright. Git status, git add. Fix texture issue. Removed some bugs. I was using the wrong texture. Loading function. Caused a bunch of issues. In this case, a server pattern, says Dimitri, means you are making a request, getting a response, code, ampersand. In this case, and all this kinds of asynchronous ampersand, and maybe in different threads. Makes sense, yeah. So it's just server and response, and it does, yes. CMake does copy over. I should have put them in the right place, but I need to put them in a source tree before it gets copied over. But if I don't have my assets in the right place, then it just overwrites the old ones. Hello, Tin Mountain. Good to see you again. What sources did you use to learn when you were starting out? When I was starting out, that's a good question. Should I? When I was starting out, it's. I could tell you what I would recommend now versus what I actually did, but I'll answer the question directly, and then you can ask, okay, what should I use instead? Because I don't recommend doing what I did when I started out. But I'll go through it just because it is a nostalgic throwback. Let me just commit this, and I'll just remember what I wanted to write. Oh, I've already committed it, right? Yep, just git push. Yeah, I started out back in like old style. This is just more for the nostalgia. The new Boston. If you remember this guy, the new. Oh, put it wrong way around. There we go. This is who I started with. And I would go to his playlists. And of course he's doing AI right now. I'm not gonna. And then I just went through one of these old ass playlists, honestly, and I think a lot of us did end up. This is how we started. And yes, this is what his backgrounds were like at one point. Where? Yeah, there we go. When was this uploaded?
What is going on, everybody? My name is Bucky Roberts. And
15 years ago. There we go. Hello, Emmanuel. What I'd recommend now, yes. Okay. Yes, I do have a roadmap, and what I would suggest, if you're trying to do what I'm doing, there is, I think as most two people have asked, I do have a Discord. This is our Discord. Feel free to join. But I do have like a bit of a roadmap here. And I would say if you're starting out, go on Learn CPP and work your way through that while also having a project via this YouTuber. He's called One Lone Coder, or JVDX9 or whatever. So I say learn CPP.com because it's free, it's updated, it's relatively good. You can pick a book though if you're learning like C++ from scratch. And I do talk about like some barriers to entry before you move on to graphics. You should be able to do most of these things. These things, I think. These are the basics. So I say barriers to entry in a couple of places. And yeah, have some computer fundamentals, like computer science fundamentals under your belt. That'd be nice. You don't have to go through the whole operating systems in 3 easy pieces. You know, just be able to understand some of the stuff that I talked about here that are basic computer science concepts, as well as just C++ stuff, and you should be okay. And then you can just work through the resources that I've given beyond that point for stuff like that. Yeah. So, too long, didn't listen. Just go to learncpp.com and work your way through that. If you're already familiar with that, go to, if you want to do OpenGL, go to, Vulkan, go to How to Vulkan, which is a 2026 updated tutorial. Avoid Vulkan-tutorial. That is out of date and wrong. It has a bunch of mistakes in it. And that's it, yeah. Is the screen working? It doesn't load for you. Oh, not again. Really? Let me refresh, because it looks like it's loading for me. Oh, it's done it again. Okay, so click that button. It seems to be okay. I do apologize. Sometimes Twitch doesn't work. If you click that red button, if it really doesn't work, then I can restart it, but that means restarting the whole stream. No problem. I'm sorry about that, Zaka. I don't know why this software is just failing me so poorly. I might reach out to some Twitch streamers and see what they can do. If it really doesn't work, I'll restart the stream again. It's back on maybe something with resolution settings. I thought I had that right. I've just got 20. Yeah, I'll come back to this again. From a hardware standpoint, says Dimitri, GPUs can be treated like a server, 100%. I very much like your thinking there. Which suggests server pattern. It connects with a PCIe, which is a type of network port. It is slow to download, etc. Yeah, that's exactly how I think about it. Also, servers in general could be implemented with like some supported procedure. Also didn't reflect. Yep, that's exactly how I think about the GPU. I think of it as like a server or a separate computer. Yeah, I had to go on YouTube, but Twitch is giving me the error. Please try again. I don't know what that means. I do apologize, guys, on the Twitch side. Same, but it fixed for me. No. I won't end the stream for YouTube. YouTube seems to be a lot more robust to this type of thing. If it's still happening, please, because these are my settings on the YouTube. Yeah, yell at me in the YouTube chat if it doesn't work. Doesn't give me resolution options. Always yell at me. Maybe if I do this. Right, I'm going to try this and just see if that helps, because that's my settings on Linux. Exactly the same. So I've refreshed the stream. Yeah, I do apologize for the faff that we are going through. Let me know if that worked. If not, we can. Yeah, the only way for me to hard check. Again, I'll just check Twitch. I think I'm gonna have to talk to another an actual Twitch streamer who does this. Let me just go on Twitch. My channel. It's doing that again. No, you guys are right. It's that's unfortunate. I'm unfortunately gonna have to again. Why does it do that? I don't know what this means either. It's so useless of an error message. Right, I'm gonna cancel the stream and restart. Did that do it? Okay. Right, we're online again. I've changed the reset. It should be a little less. Sorry about that again. I do apologize. But yeah, please yell at me in the YouTube chat if it's not working. It does seem to be working now. But again, I've lost all the viewers, so... there we go. I miss Escape Plan already, yeah. I miss him as well. Right, let's pick some more music while that comes alive. Let's pick... You know what? We haven't listened to Skyrim in ages. Let's stick that on. It's a nice... Yeah, that always hits. Anyway, so yeah, YouTube, you should be good. I'm paranoid now. Let's check that YouTube's good. Yeah, okay, we're good on YouTube. Maybe it's back on. I had to go to YouTube. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, it's... YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain a smooth buffering. Okay, so... okay, so let's lower the bitrate then. Sorry about this, guys. I'm going to lower the bitrate, so it clearly doesn't like that on YouTube. Oh my goodness. Right, this shouldn't take much time though. So I'm just going to do that. Okay. Oh, no, stop. Ah, what a disaster. I started a virtual camera. I don't even know what that means. Alright, let's just make sure Twitch has not died. We do love you on there, Twitch. We do love you, Twitch. So I'm probably going to have to, yeah, talk to a streamer or something. Okay. Okay, we're still good. I've lowered the bit rate. Let me, okay. Bit rate, yeah, on 16K. I thought it was good. I thought 16K was fine, but clearly not. Alright, so that's good. I hope you guys can find me again on the Twitch side. It looks like it's good. I can see my Twitch screen, but it doesn't always necessarily mean it is working for me. So yeah, I do apologize for the interruptions. I am trying my best. It's not you though. It's definitely me. It's something I could do. Maybe I'll super chat Daya Man if he's online. Right, I see. Okay. So I've just seen Midnight Hammers on the Discord talk about this. I got you. Right, fantastic. Okay. Yeah, 16K is a lot. Got you. Okay, so that's probably part of the issue then. I thought more was better, but clearly not. 10K, it is. Stream is healthy. Okay, cool. And again, I shouldn't really close Twitch. I think I'm just going to leave it open just so I can check on it. Let's just check again. Okay, we're all good. Just leave you muted. That's why I keep closing it, because I keep talking. But I can just mute it like that. Okay, cool. Yeah, thank you for putting up with me, guys. Let me just bring up the chat on Twitch, and then I'm done. Officially. Okay. So where were we? We were debugging streams. Okay, so this is done. Let's bring up back the player for a minute. No, actually, I'm going to try to avoid using the player. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is actually go into the jolt physics. We committed the particle stuff, so that's fine. And we're pretty much done. Okay, this is a bit loud. Just a touch for me. So what I'm going to do is, because what I want to be able to do is a point collision detection. PK command draw player, yeah. in the Ratchet does know how to get a laugh out of me. The same same joke keeps working over and over. Jolt physics. That's what the physics engine I'm using. I just need some documentation. Because what we want to do is point-based collision detection. And I think to be able to do this, we might need a second layer. I don't know. We've got to add a force to it. And I think, as far as I'm aware, this is the type of particle slash, thing that we can't use a compute shader for. Now, this is the thing. This is a bit of a research task, honestly. Because we have, yeah, this should be fine. Yeah, because we have, this has to interact with things within the game rather than just things that are on the GPU. So okay, so there's two. As far as I'm aware, this could be wrong, but I'm gonna kind of roll with it until I'm proven otherwise. If you want particles to interact with something on the GPU, for example, colliding with the depth buffer, so that particles kind of bounce off everything, they're always on the outside of things. Command call draw, yeah. We end up having you can do all your compute. Sorry, you can do all your particle physics stuff in a compute shader. But if I want to update the particles and then them have some interaction with particular objects that are CPU based, for example, a 3D entity that's moving around the scene with different properties based on their physical properties or materials or whatever, I think what I need to do is a CPU based approach, which is fine. But that means I need two different emitters and two different ways of doing this type of thing. So for now, I just need to set up a one particle with one particle, one emitter, and then worry about the collision detection. I think what I'm going to do though is just try and get the collision detection, collect some notes. Basically, that's what I need to do, and stuff like that. And that's what we're going to try and do. We're going to try and reproduce, because I can collide into some geometry. Sorry, I'm talking so much right now, but I'm trying to think and plan at the same time while I'm talking, so that's why I'm doing that. Hello, 214. Yes, I did see what you did earlier today. Hope you enjoyed the shower. And yes, thank you for the 5 stream watch streak. You're first because I had to restart the Twitch stream like 3 times. It has been a bit of a struggle for our Twitch viewers, and I do apologize for that again. But anyway, so we need to basically have a collision detection that removes a. So we need a CPU-based collision detection to happen. Then we need a GPU-based particle emitter to happen. And then we're good, right? That's the idea. VK command call list was a parody of GL call list from... okay. I actually don't know what that GL call list. I'm not cool like you guys. Okay, so let's so that's what we need to do. First things first is I want to do a point-based collision detection on geometry, and that's it. I don't want to have to do anything complicated, so I don't want to stress the physics engine. Okay, so create bodies, yep, that's fine. We already do this. So I think we need body types, I think, maybe. Okay, let's just go to here. So I'm going to read this out loud. It doesn't count unless it's been exactly 24 hours since the last stream. Oh, okay. There we go. Just in case you didn't remember ancient GL stuff. No, I didn't do much open GL legacy stuff. I kind of moved on very quickly to shaders because they were still out at the time. Anyway, collision detection can be performed through various interfaces. Collision detection against the world using a bounding box of every geometry using a broad face. Okay, so that's something I might have to worry about. Detailed collision detection against the world is done by nerf query phase. This each collision detection done with a single body is done by a transformed shape. Okay. Get transformed shape. Checking collision against a single shape is done by a shape class. See shape, raycast, or collision dispatch. Okay, so this is what we're going to be after, I think. Not raycast specifically, but because that would be a not the type of bullet I'm thinking of. I want a slower moving particle. So we need like a point or something. Because a ray just goes out in one direction when triggered infinitely, which is great for picking up things like in Minecraft. Okay, excuse me. Collide point. So what I'm going to do is check if point is inside a shape for this test. Yeah, assume solid. Note that the in-point shape should be relative to the center of mass of a... Okay. From the point, if you want to test against shapes, shape in the space, it is corrected for a mesh shape. This test only provides a sensible information if the mesh is closed manifold. Yeah, that's fine. For each shape that collides, the IO collector will receive a hit. Right, okay, so that's fine. I don't think that's quite what I want to do, actually. Can Vulkan works in Apple OS that use Metal as the graphics API? There is a translation layer between Vulkan and... Switch gone down again. It's saying unstable. Let me check. No, it's good. Okay, it's just checking. I'm a bit paranoid now. There is something called VK Molten. Yeah. So you check that out if you're interested in using Vulkan on Mac, which is a translation layer. I don't exactly know 100% what it does, but yeah, it's pretty useful if you want to do that. Okay, so next, so in our scene code, what have we got? We are doing a shape setting. We create the shape. Then we create a sphere. GL. Okay, so this is the setting up of all the rocks. Which we have doubled because we've done the texture compression. Okay. The physics, I need to go to the physics code. Okay, so this is never used, I can get rid of that. Contact listener. So the body that comes in, this is the thing I need to worry about, because I do the entity type, but like what's... And then we get the entity type from the user data, we pass it in. We do a mutex so we don't end up, because this is multi-threaded. In theory, you should have used a lock guard perhaps, but whatever. This is equally as fine. Cosmic Crisp or Molten VK? Oh, is there a new thing? Sarp Illuminary Moon. Thank you for joining us. I hope you're having a great day, my guy. How come you're still using Windows 10? For some reason, well, Microsoft won't let me use 11. My motherboard is too old, which is going to unfortunately require a big upgrade. Want to do, but yeah, I agree. It looks Windows 10 looks way better than Windows 11, without a doubt. Right. Okay. So we have the queue here. Let me think. Delete queue, which is fine. We add it to the queue and then we do stuff later. We have the crash noise sound effect when the player crashes into the rock. My worry, though, is this is going to explode in complexity. Let me think. This... So let's look at our entities. Cosmic Crisp doesn't need the weird portability thing. It's fully compliant. Ah, okay, that's good. One day you'll forget to unlock a mutex. That's why you can use scope lock. Yeah, I know. It's I'm not too worried. I'm not like dyed in the wall about what is it called? That particular setup. So okay, so we have spec sphere, which I assume is the debug geometry. I haven't been in the entity code in a minute. It just seems a bit overkill to go through the contact manager to do a point-based collision detection on anything. But that being said, the internal gubbins of this library are a bit of a mystery to me. The reason I don't really know that is, well, I don't really have control of that, if that makes sense. Is let's just say I do like arbitrary point-based collision detection on stuff. If I have 8,888 models in the scene, and I check them all individually without going through a broad phase in the collision detection, then this is gonna scale exponentially and get really, really bad, right? So I think what I'm gonna have to do, unfortunately, is for now make a bullet entity. Hi Midras, DK. What engine does this mostly compare with? What engine does this mostly compare with? That's a good question. I've never had that question. A bad one? No. I don't know. It's just a little hobby. Well, hobby. When I say that, it's a smaller game engine, so it's very specific to the type of game I'm trying to make. So there's no like, oh, this is like a Godot game engine or something like that I could say this is like Unity. And it's also, yeah, it's not finished. I can show you what it looks like anyway. We can show. We can have you know, this is kind of what we've got at the moment. You know, I don't know what you would compare this to. So yeah, that's what it's like. Oh yeah, it's like, it's in the same category. It's not. Hopefully, there's like two different game engines out there, right? There's the big game engines like Godot, Unreal, Unity, the Creation Engine, Frostbite. You know, they can make a lot of different things, right? But I'm doing more something like the League of Legends game engine, right? No one ever talks about the League of Legends game engine, right? Because it's just doing League of Legends. That's what I'm trying to do with this game engine. It's just meant to do what I want it to do. In the same way the League of Legends game engine just does League of Legends. So yeah, it's going to be like an open world spacey game where you can fly around, mostly exploring stuff, right? So that's like the game design's like kind of driving the tech. Yeah, so that's what I'm trying to aim for. But it's a good question. It made me think. Forgetting to unlock a mutex means that anything else didn't you unlock? Yeah. Oh yeah, 100% guaranteed deadlock. Alright, so let's make a... I don't know how many entities we're going to end up with. Okay. I don't really like this idea, but I don't really know how to do it. We don't have a model. We just have an entity. Yeah, the entity just has an enum. We have void data. What's the void data used for? Let me just get rid of this for a minute, just so I can see. Ah, thank you for getting me to 50 followers. Did you see two bulls in the entity struck? I know. Mike Acton is flying to your location. Yeah. When did I use this? Right, okay, so that's me just kind of... Okay. The entity and the entity type get together when we do a cast. I have a bad feeling that we don't use one of these. So we do use is dynamic. In all fairness, Unity is quite broad. Unreal Engine is mostly AAA FPS. That's true. Open, yeah, that's what it's designed around. Unreal Engine is the worst of them all. Unreal Engine has potential, but there's a lot of AI trash in it. Oh dear. It's deleted. When do we use this? Right, okay, I remember hacking this in. Yeah, okay, so we should do something different here, but I'm not going to worry about the entity struct. But you are right. Mike Acton is going to chase me down in my sleep. Right, okay, so now we want to make... Do I have to make a bullet entity? I feel like it's a bit redundant. How did I make a rock entity? I need to make a... Do I need acceleration, velocity, and position for like one thing? We don't need we don't need to rotate it. We don't need... What we might need is a texture ID. So I'm just going to write a quick, crappy... So in the scene, where am I? We have entities... Let's just see my entity construction. So when I'm pushing back into the entity struct... Array, sorry. And for once, someone uses Vulkan natively instead of DirectX and Direct 11. I don't see that so often. Oh, really? Interesting. Yeah, I'm definitely using DirectX. DirectX. Vulkan. Natively, indeed. Unity is kind of dead, from what I hear. Is it? Okay, I'll have to ask my game dev friends. I've run a different... Because my community is very engine focused, if that makes sense. There's a lot of people who are using... You are right, though. I don't hear people talk about Unity anymore. I hear it's either Unreal or mostly Godot. Everyone's moved to Godot or some other stuff. I think you're right. They fired all their graphics engineers ages ago, from what I've heard. Ooh, that's not good. Okay, let's concentrate just for a touch. Well, some fairly big games are still developed on Unity. I think maybe Ratchet in the YouTube chat was maybe talking about indie game development, because that's what I was thinking of when he said that. Because that's where I go, I think, and I immediately go to you. What are the indie devs doing? But I don't know. I haven't seen Godot games released to the mainstream yet, at least on Steam. I couldn't say yes or no on that one, but I think yes, actually. I think Godot is still a bit behind when it comes to releasing new stuff. Okay, so we have a... Alright, this is quite straightforward. Get collision shape, what's this? Okay, so that just gets that. So our entity type needs to be... Okay, so this is quite straightforward. Obviously, we need to do the same thing. But for bullets, it's not ideal. But whatever. Alright, so user data. Okay, so this is important. So when we create that, yeah, we need to send that in. But what are we dereferencing here? Oh yeah, we do an emplacement new. This is very strange. It's because we can't initialize the memory. We can allocate it, but we can't initialize it straight away. Also, I'm not a programmer, so all this stuff feels quite overwhelming. Only done 3D stuff and / level design in the Source engine. Well, if you do have questions, that's actually, and you are a bit confused, feel free to ask anything at all. I will try to do my best to explain as much as I can. If it is kind of confusing or you're kind of wondering what I'm doing, you know, please reach out. I don't mind. I have an idea, but yeah. Yeah, no problem. Also, yeah, because everyone's job in here is to chill and have a good time, whatever that may be. So, yeah, if I can help you guys with that, I really do want to help. You enjoy yourselves. Anyway, I feel like most hobbyists use Vulkan and AAA games on PC use DirectX 12. I think you're right there. Because they have a deal with Microsoft paying them to use DirectX 12. Ah, okay. Over across... I actually don't know if that's true, but if that's true, that makes a lot of sense. It's more that they've been using DirectX-based stuff for decades. That's what I was thinking. Okay, so if that is true, that's what I was thinking. Yes, that's going to be an influence, right? But I was assuming, yes, that DirectX, because it's been around longer, that's kind of, there's a lot of incumbents to move to other things. But then you got id Tech making a Vulkan-based renderer, and it was faster than anything in 2016. RIP to some of the people who worked there, because they got fired, not because of anything else. Right. So what do we want to do here? Do we want to have a collision? So we initialize the shape. We do a static cast on it. We initialize it with the geometry. Sorry, with yeah, we see the entity data of that. Okay. How do I want to do a bullet? That's the next question. Because there must be a position of like the rocks and stuff. So let's just go through that. They're not moving. That's the position. So they have a what is it called? They have a body settings. So that goes into here. The body settings comes through. Vulkan has gotten pretty good nowadays. Yeah, Vulkan's been out for 10 years. You don't need DirectX 12. No Man's Sky switched to Vulkan from OpenGL. That makes sense. That's a good way of doing it. Yeah, if you're already from OpenGL, I think the switch is probably easier, and it made a difference. Minecraft has been doing the same. Yeah. It's interesting you say that. Ratchet in the YouTube chat has actually thrown that into RenderDoc, and they've seen that apparently, I don't know if it's improved, but when they looked at least, that Minecraft isn't doing very well. They're not using Vulkan very well, basically. Which is interesting more than anything. I'm not saying it's like bad or anything, or you know, Vulkan's bad. Yeah, they're using like Giga. Last time he checked, he told me that they're using buffers. One big buffer barrier, which is slower than using individual little ones at different places. It's just more of a day. But you are right, yeah. OpenGL took until 3.3 to catch up DirectX, and by then everyone had been using DirectX for decades. Makes total sense, says Ratchet in the YouTube chat. It's software we're using OpenGL for a while before DirectX was usable. Well, makes sense. Yep, definitely. That's definitely true. Minecraft needs to be baked in the oven with Vulkan implementation. Yeah. But it's still miles ahead of... Yeah, with GLQuake. Yep. You guys are on it. You guys know as much as I do on these things. Okay, so... So this is a dynamic thing. And what is baked into these entities? So when we make an entity, we have rock, we have a shape position which gets the body ID. Then we get the collision shape. And then we can do, I assume, we have the body ID. Okay. So we need a body. Do we need a rigid body? If I do a, yeah, I would need to have a rigid body for a bullet. But if it's a point, that might be overkill. Okay, so let me think about this. I need to look at the documentation a bit more in Geolts, because it is interesting here. The reason I want to do a particle, which for those who don't know, is treated as a point in space. Let's go through all the shapes actually. Let's is there a shape? Let's go through all the shapes. So because point-based collision detection is much simpler in the fine grain pass, right? Versus something like even a cube, an axis aligned bounded box, right? A point's easier to deal with, and therefore it's faster, right? Vulkan modder's implementation of Vulkan is apparently solid. Wow. That's really interesting. Yeah, I hope no we're gonna have because I want to make a spaceship game. I want you to see the bullets that are flying through space, even if they're really quick. We're not gonna do hit scan stuff. I think I'll make the game a bit too easy. If you can just hold down X and then the bullets fire out, you know, the speed of light. Yeah, we want them to be slowish relative to you. Not too slow, so it's like punishing or anything, but you know what I mean, like a Star Fox type bullet, right? You know, you're not seeing that fly out the speed of light, instantly blowing stuff up at the distance. Right, so we got public members for the shape. What type of shapes do we have though? So we have a lot of stuff in here. So we have, okay. Oh, okay, so this is the, right. So what I'm going to do, actually, I'm going to go to the source code and kind of look through my, Runes Immersion, yeah. I was talking about the new native Vulkan implementation, but whatever. I should probably look at the new Vulkan stuff in Minecraft. Oh, yeah, go ahead, yeah. With your expertise, they'll be, they may have improved since the last time. But either one, maybe. Bit of an interesting side mission. Right, so what am I doing? I'm trying to go to my scene so I can see the code. Yeah, sorry about the lack of coding. I know it seems a bit odd, but I'm trying to I'm really trying to avoid making this more complicated than it has to be. So I'm trying to. This is mostly a research project right now. Hence the slower. Okay, so we have the types, but how do you do point-based collision detection in Jolt? I wonder if a Google search will come up with anything. Likely nothing, just AI gibberish. Point-based collision detection, Jolt. Maybe. Who knows? Have you updated? Have they updated it in the new snapshot cycle? Maybe? I'm not sure. I haven't kept up with Minecraft. Whoops. Okay, it's the architecture of Jolt, so let's see. I think this is just the same thing. Oh. Plane shape. Go up one. Convex hull. Not what I'm interested in. That's how to make the geometry. Pointer, not pointer. It's the way to, yeah, whole word. There we go. Point constraints, interesting. This will attach two bodies at a single point. No. Okay, so these are constraints, and I do not want to touch constraints. Quad tree, contact listener. During the simulation, after a collision detection work has performed, you can choose to discard contact point. I don't care. Conversion limits using column major matrices means that the transform point. Okay. I read that as big words. I was like, what are they talking about 64-bit for? How big are you planning the game to be in terms of space? Yeah, I'm kind of not sure yet. I want you to be able to fly around and kind of like look at stuff. That's my biggest thing at the moment. I'm thinking of doing something like maybe for now, just because it's just me and I'm not that good, maybe we should not floating points, just worry about like one instance, right? So we just have like a single battle, like in something like No Man's Sky, right, where you can't fly out too far, you're kind of stuck, or you're kind of stuck in a corridor or something like that, right? Where we kind of like limit the space so I can actually like make it look nice. I'm not. Maybe we'll do procedural. I think I am gonna do some randomness for like spawning of things, but I don't think I'm gonna go full procedural. Because I want to see if I can get away with it. Kind of like maybe something like Spelunky, you know, like how they did it. Not obviously completely different because that's 2D and all that. But they restricted their procedural stuff, I think. Anyway, hi Munchie. Will it be bigger than Elite? All I can say about that is it will have 16 divided the detail of Elite, and it'll be 16 divided the size of Elite. Yeah, instead of 16 times the detail, it'll be 16 divided the detail. Yeah, it's not meant to be like a super, you know, it's not my magnum opus, if that makes sense, right? It's going to be like kind of like a okay, so I don't still know how to do this, which it's build up the, yeah, let's grab the, oh, you're talking about the original Elite. How big was the original Elite, actually? I can't remember. I thought you were talking about Elite Dangerous. Yeah, 1.5 bits. Yeah. Which is a completely different game. So the Elite, the original Elite was an 8-bit game that came, I think, on cassette tape. Which is not quite... okay. Procedural is the program away, yeah. Well, I mean, we'll see. So this is not my physics engine, this is Jolt's physics engine, so I don't deserve any praise or anything like that for this particular thing. I can't quite remember how you... So it has a bunch of samples in here which might help us out with what we need, so... Yeah, this is... we can end up implementing this, but I don't really want to, so... I'm trying to implement as little as possible, if that makes sense, right? Shapes, sphere shape, capsule. Apparently the cylinder is the most unstable. Plane shape. Rotated translated shape. What? Off center of mass shape. Empty shape? What's this? Ah, okay. How do I press P? Right, okay. I think I know what I want to do then. I want to do the shooting thing, whatever that is. Yeah, with no gravity. Oh, but this is still a... Is there a... What have we got here? We've got... So it's just convex hull. Okay. Linear cast. I have no idea what these mean. Okay, so it might make sense to make the particle a sphere, I guess. I mean, that's... Just seems a bit overkill. But I don't know how to do this any other way. Okay, sphere versus sphere is still very simple. Sphere versus other things is like medium difficulty. Alright. Maybe this game will be released on floppy then? Yeah. If I get the compression right. Elite was 1984. 248 planetary systems across 6 galaxies. Galaxies. On 82 kilobyte. Wow. Yeah, there we go. That's well good. So it looks like we're gonna have a sphere for a bullet, I think. And yeah, we're just gonna put up with that. I've decided. That just makes everything more like less. I don't really see. Yeah, like I said, the only reason I could do. You see, this is the problem I'm having right now. If I don't use a sphere object, I can't use the broad face collision detection, right? So if I just fire out a point in space and just say this is the point, which obviously is super easy to do, it's difficult to then go, okay, which rock have you touched? That's the issue that I'm going to have, right? I don't want to have to sit there and check every single one of them, like one at a time. And it looks like, because the way that Jolt works is you have to go through this something called the contact listener. And the way this contact listener seems to work is it has two bodies, which are, I think, can be either soft or hot or solid, rigid bodies even. And I don't really know outside of that. Yeah, I don't know how to like make a point-based, if that makes sense, rigid body. So I think I've argued myself into a corner here where I have to use for a particle I have to use some geometry, which is completely fine. I mean, like I said, spheres isn't too bad. I just wanted to try to avoid it, but it could be worse. All right, so speech merge is dynamic. Why wouldn't it be able to do a broad face collision detection for a point? It's limitation. Is it a limitation for Jolt? It might not be. I just don't know how to use the contact listener. Right? This is the problem, because it's multi-threaded. It like disappears off into its own, internals. Then when a collision detection error has happened, it comes out here and goes, all right, based on this information, which is the contact results. I'm not sure what this is, this vector here, but it has two rigid bodies. And I don't know how to say to Jolt, okay, I don't want to do two bodies, I want to do a body versus a point, for it to work out how to figure out where it is internally. So that's what I'm struggling with at the moment. Unless, so someone has said, when you shoot, don't you spawn a model asset with collision which be fired whenever, at whatever speed. You spawn that inside the barrel. Yeah, maybe. Okay, maybe you guys are onto something. Let's the shapes I have are these. The only difference between a point and a shape really is the radius. I just don't know how to make a sorry, not a shape. This is confusing. Jolt is very Jolt is very good, but it's also a bit confusing. How do I use this thing? It's a skill issue on my behalf, by the way. I don't. Yeah, you're right. It's just a point plus a radius. That's why I'm kind of like, maybe I'm agonizing over something that doesn't matter. Because you are right, it is much simpler than, like, say, I don't know, a convex hull or something. Yeah, box 3D is definitely a temptation, I have to admit. I'm not sure, but you'd spawn a model / geometry given what you want via a rocket or something. Click is -1 to the magazine. And spawns a barrel, fired immediately. How is it supposed to be programmed? Oh yeah. Okay, so what I was trying to do, let me show you. Do you know what a billboard is? That's what I was trying to do. I was trying to do this with a billboard rather than a... but I guess a model has more flexibility, I guess. And then I can probably do particles around it. So yeah, this is probably fine, actually, now I think about it. This is actually probably something I want to do. Because it's nice to have a model with particles on it. And I think it'd be hard to do particles on a particle, right? Maybe? Yeah, okay, so let's do that. Let's just do a sphere. Spheres are fine. I think I took too long on that, but at least I think I have a relatively decent understanding of what I want to do here. So now we need to... The downside of this at the moment is spawning. I don't think I have a way of spawning anything yet at runtime. Oh yeah, we could just grok it. Grok. How to jolt. No mistakes. Heaven forbid what it actually comes back with. You can do model for different projectiles, bullets, makes it look more real. Yeah, I think you're right there. I can probably do some interesting things with models instead of doing a billboard. Because I can add just billboards around the model, which maybe kind of look cool. Anyway, so let me think about this for a minute. I need to think about how to spawn things in, which means we need to remove... Okay. Removing things is kind of dangerous because that means that you're resizing. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, for now, I've got an idea. How we're going to test this. We're going to not do bullets at the moment. We're going to build in our scene. So when I go to the game, what I need to work on, something before I do bullets. I need to know how to spawn things in. Now you may think, oh, just spawn it in. But right now our scene is all loaded up at runtime. Sorry, at load time. I don't think there's anything that does this. It's not going to be too complicated, but I just need to set up an environment at which I can see things being loaded in and deleted. So this is the debug scene. I'm going to turn off light. That doesn't really matter, I guess, but then I need to... So what I'm going to do is I'm going to treat a evening reveal. I'm going to treat a bullet or a duck or a rock or anything like that like a bullet, and then I'm going to work on the spawning stuff in, I think. You could do models, different project. Yeah, oh, sorry, I read that before. Yeah, surely the visuals don't matter for a particle system representation. Yeah, I just need to get this right first. What about rendering? Static lights or dynamic / ray tracing? Dynamic lights for sure. I'm probably going to leave ray tracing alone. Probably just because if I want to do ray tracing, it's probably going to be shadows, and then I don't know if I really want to do that. We have dynamic lights in the game already, but that's not saying much because we don't have many lights. We have one static light and one dynamic light. So it's one of those things. We're definitely going to have more lights, though. We're going to have all sorts of lights going on, hopefully. It'd be nice to make a bullet also a light source, you know. So we're going to have stuff like that in. So, what am I doing? We need to have stuff spawned in. So what I'm going to do is go to the scene code. And when I'm building the debug scene, which is here, we have... how many do we have here? We have 20, 40. So I need to have 40 objects. So we need to have less than what's allocated. I need to make a new object based on a event. And then once we've spawned them in, then it'll be easy to do. Are you adding defer? Are you using deferred for your lighting? We aren't doing any types of passes at the moment, so there is just straightforward lighting. There's no deferred. There's no forward plus. I know the latest Doom use basic ray tracing, so devs avoided complicated lighting. That's one way to do it. You take performance from the... Yeah, that's the thing. It's we might do ray tracing in a very limited way. We're not going to do full ray tracing, I don't think. We might do something like, we want to do a bit of scattering, perhaps. Coding without clankers in 2026, blasphemy. Oh well. I will continuously be a blasphemer, regardless of how good they get. Okay, so we need to build an entity. So if I make, what do I want to do here? I want to, sorry, not the performance scene, the debug scene. I realize I have nothing to spawn. This is crazy. I don't have this in the engine already. Because we need to spawn stuff in. That's just like how games work. I didn't even think about this. Jeez, this is such an oversight almost. You're focusing too much on graphics. Yeah, well, yeah, I've been pretty locked in on the graphics for a while now, and I've realized I don't have anything spawning in. I think the way they did it in a very basic level ray tracing, you could fine tune, but point at some. But point at least was they saved compilation. Compiling time using this method. Oh, I see. Yeah, with pre-baking. Yeah. Without pre-baking stuff. Right. Let me think. What have we got? We've got. When I say "let me think," it's just like a phrase. You don't have to not talk in chat, by the way. It's just something I always say. Like almost saying it to myself, so I stop. Thinking of something else, you know. So we need, when we want to make a new, we need to make a new object. We need this. Set embedded main, sure we're allowed to delete these. You have to do that so it's deleted on the scope. We set the shape, rotation, and I think what I'm going to spawn in is stuff on positive Y. I don't think I've done that at all here. I think I just set the X position, which is easy enough to check. Then we need to build the entity up, and then we need to add it to the simulation, I think. When you add something to the simulation, there's two ways of doing it. Yeah, remove body, add body. And then destroy body. But what we might do is not delete the body. We might try and reuse the bullet, assuming it goes out. Like, for example, if there's like 6 meters in front of us, the bullet travels. And then instead of deleting the object, we just put the bullet back in the gun again, and then we just fire it out. We just fire out the same bullets on repeat. We just change the position. So that's what I'm probably going to do there. Pull a John Blow and make an entire game in a massive dictionary. In a massive dictionary. Yeah, we could do that, I guess. I wouldn't know how that goes. Right, okay, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to spawn stuff in like that. We're going to have this like conveyor belt of bullets. So we don't end up deleting things unnecessarily. So we can actually, if we do that, thinking about it, we could actually allocate all the bullets ahead of time. Okay, so we still I'm trying to work around spawning stuff in. That's silly. We need to not do that. We need to actually work on spawning, because we're going to spawn in stuff, right? Like other things to shoot other than just rocks. And new rocks, I guess, if that's the thing. Okay, so we need to work on this regardless. This is a thing that needs to happen. We could spawn in, so like what I'm saying is we could spawn in like 40 bullets and just reuse them over and over again. But that would kind of be defeating the point, right? So read it later, letter by letter. Oh, I see what you're saying. Right, got you. Nice work. Nice thing that bot. Okay, so let's do that. Let's make a new function, and we're just gonna make this simple. Test spawn, I think. Yeah. Okay. So this is not gonna be. This is just where everything's like accessible. Let's throw in some music. And go to here. Yeah, so we need to kind of like what we need to do here is we need to take this, we need to make a new object. I'm gonna copy some stuff but not use all of it. Radius is what? Yeah, whatever. I guess I could just copy these out, doesn't really matter. This is mostly for testing reasons. So we should be able to, yeah, no gravity, it's static, it doesn't move. But I'm going to set the position not at 0, 0, 0, which is kind of where it is. Oh no, it's not, it's just randomly placed. So I want this to be 0 within a radius. We don't need scene radius. 0f. 0.f. And I think 20 is what you want. Alright, so we have the position, we have random rotation. What are we going to call this? We're going to make it a, I guess we can call it a rock, it doesn't really matter. So we want to create a rigid body. So we need all this gubbins. Put that there. And I'm going to take the arguments from added state. Now we do a prepare to add. Hang on. Where are we? Debug scene, that's what I wanted. So we kind of do it like this. So we want to spawn an extra rock, which will be kind of like once something happens. Let's take all this, and it doesn't really matter. That's the collision geometry mesh. We'll do 1 dot whatever that I think. Let's do a different color. Let's do this to signify it's something else, even if it's going to have the same rock model. We then want to add help me, I in what? You're in the boot menu. HP what? Wrong tab, that isn't a Clanker prompt. HP device Omnibook 7. It ain't showing up the... I do not know what's going on there. I do apologize. There, boss. I really hope you do sort out your laptop. Yeah, be careful. I know this doesn't need to be said, but for some people in the chat, but yeah, don't just install a Linux operating system because it's cool to do right now. You know, do a bit of research. So we just need to add body. So the physics interface rather than add and. So yeah, this is what we do for that. So you just want to add body. This is just for one body, so this doesn't make sense to do any finalization or anything. Okay, so do we have a rigid body to even add? We should do. I think we've missed a step. So we go in here, we do a bunch of... Where's our body gone? So we can actually get this out. And the first argument is the body ID. Yeah, so we can just access this randomly. Because that's the last one we added. What's the next argument? Activation mode. Get rid of all this. And we should be, that should be in the simulation. And let's just do a test. Oh, I spelled spawn wrong, whatever. What we're going to do is go into game real quick and open up a quick and dirty spacebar checker. I'm going to try and add it to the simulation. And that should be like a good starting point. So that should be, oh, we've built a spawner basically. Handler is key released. Key plural. Space. Okay, and then we want to take scene. Okay, let's see how we do. Error. Oh. That was for the mouse. That meant for the keyboard. So we shouldn't see anything weird happen or anything break. Now my concern is we're going to run out of space. But we should see. Oh, I forgot. There's two. I forgot there. Okay, so it's gonna execute that first. Let's change the key. It's key to something else. Yes, we do have sound effects. Completely forgot we have that in the engine. I've wrote that. I wrote that a long time ago. Let's go with, I don't know, key 1, I guess. I don't know. Oh, okay, for goodness sake. Key 2. There we go. Okay. And That's what I thought would happen. I'm not gonna lie. That's exactly what I thought would happen. Right, okay, so we have a problem here if... It's a static array, it's a statically assigned array, if that makes sense, right? But it can be dynamically allocated. But I need to know how to do that. So for spawn, we need to make a new... What should we do? So we need to obviously make a new space for entity. Right, that should work. Well, should get around that. Forgot I didn't. We shall see what's happening next. If we press. Okay, so it still didn't work. Didn't resize. Oh, okay. So yeah, we need more. Yeah, we need more. So we need entity data as well to be resized. Using a very quickie. Yeah, the sizing of the arrays should be actually handled internally. So let's see. Okay, so we get another issue. Inside loop, test swap. Yeah. What's the issue? Where? I should have increased the size here. I am unsure why this is. The size should have increased by 1. This is 41. Yet... I mean, we could do this, but it's kind of lame. It's not fixing the issue, but I am running out of time, so let's throw this in here. And just see if that works, and then we'll kind of call it. Ah, thanks for the raid. Hello. I hope you had a great stream. What have you been working on? Give you Nope, that's number 2. Whoa. I do apologize. I don't know what happened then. That is our first raid on Twitch, yes. I'm working on my first 3D test game engine with Zig and Raylib. Nice, bro. That's cool. Yeah, I've heard Raylib. Everyone seems to really like it, and Zig is like, you know, I love Andrew Kelly. Honestly, he's a fantastic programmer. I'm very much inspired by what he's been doing with Zig, so it's cool that you're using it. I'm still stuck with C++, sadly. Yeah, we're working on a game engine here. We're trying to do in C++ and Vulkan, right? And we're trying to get things to spawn in. That's what we're trying to do at the moment. And I currently just flashed something was flashing on the screen. I don't know why. We could render it. which is confusing. But I don't really know exactly why that happened. So this is all written in, yeah, this is like, there's no raylib, there's no SFLM. We're just kind of trying to write it ourselves, foolishly. So yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, okay, awesome. Good luck to you. Sadly, I have to go right now, but see you. This project's looking really cool. Thank you. And thank you for, yeah, thanks for the raid. My first ever raid. So yeah, I'll do my best. I'll do my best to make this project cool. Yeah, see you soon, man. Alright, so we obviously can't have that flashing. Because that is terrible. And I've got to figure out why that happened. Thank you for watching. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, appreciate you guys. So we have a so why did that flash? I don't want to bring it up again because that's, I don't want to cause anyone's like, don't want to cause any harm to anyone. But I think we should just try and fix the problem that we had here, right? Instead of being lazy. Why did that do that? I'm a bit confused there. So we do increase the size. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my arrays and just make them a bit bigger. And just see if that performs better. If it does, then I know it's something to do with the actual array sizing. Nah, it's chill. I've been streaming for a while. It's one of those things. So I'm going to minimize the window. Actually, that's just going to cause an issue. Well, I'll just be very quick here with the. Okay, so that is spawned in. That's spawned in. This is just demo. I'm trying to because this is my demo scene at the moment. There is usually more going on in here, but we're trying to work out how to spawn in enemies and stuff like that at the moment. We don't currently have that in our little space game. This just allows me to see if something spawned on top of itself. This is very much a, test scene, but we do have rubber ducks there, which is cool. All right. So I should spell this properly, shouldn't I? That's probably the first thing I should try and do. Spawn. Oh, am I going crazy? How do you spell spawn all of a sudden? So I assume you guys are all into, like... There we go. I don't know why I'm putting a P in. Yeah, my dyslexic butt is, There we go. Getting confused a bit there. Alright, so we take that, move this over to here. There we go. We'll put this in the game real quick over here so we don't get a compilation error. Yeah, so that's good. So we can't seem to resize. The problem is I don't want to allocate. I don't know if this is a good or bad idea. Maybe someone who knows loads about memory can yell at me in the chat and say, no, this is a good idea or a bad idea. I don't want to make an array huge at the when I initialize the engine. I want to be able to resize it when I need to. Now I don't know how expensive my version of, because I've written my own like standard template stuff. I don't know. With a lot of help, by the way. It's not like I'm brand new to this. I kind of was like, oh, how do I do this very specific thing? But we do have a grow function that does do, allocations and stuff from a memory pool. Because we allocate, if you notice that we've got like a gig of memory, like 1.56 gig. That's because I've allocated a gig straight up, so our allocations are much faster. I can shrink that down when we get closer to release. Zig is pretty based. No, I have not read a line of it. I agree with that, TT on the YouTube side of the chat. And it looks like Angelica is a cutie / 214 and does not agree. Okay, so the thing is I don't quite understand is when we are allocating memory, and we're doing this mem copy, which really should be just replaced with, I'll do that a different day though, regular mem copy. We should be increasing the size of the memory. We should have a new struct. We should have new data, I think, right? So when I allocate this arrays at load time at the beginning of the game, when you launch it, and also please excuse the terrible main menu. That's deliberately there to kind of like show that if you're watching live, it's not done. Vallocate the max size only commits pages you need. That's true. I don't know. We already have the pages, I think. It's just how much of the memory pool do I want to reserve for entities and stuff that may spawn in. Do you know what? Because I'm not making this game engine for other people to use, in the sense that I don't have a like other people that are going to use this like randomly. They're going to spawn in like a random amount of assets. I think I can be quite I can allocate all my memory up front, because I as the game developer are going to know how many things are going to be spawned in, right? And we've put some effort into compressing the memory of the actual structs themselves, the entity code themselves. So I think, unless someone says, oh, have you thought about this? I think we can say that, yes, we can spawn in, like, we can have, like, 60 ducks, 60 rocks, and 20 spaceships flying around, right? Because I know 100% for that particular level, that is what you're going to have. You're not going to do anything else. And I can always just clear out the memory and then resize them. Always better. The more assumptions about your data you can make. Totally. Yeah, says TT on the YouTube side. Yeah, so that's what I think what I'm going to do. So yeah, feel free to ask questions, by the way, guys. I know it's like if you've never heard of like Vulkan stuff, or like what I'm doing, or you're interested in, you know, feel free to ask questions about what we're doing. No silly questions here. Yeah, I think we're right here. We can just assume that when we press space that we're going to have an extra object. And that means we can make bullets, and that means we can do, because I'm going to say that you're going to have like a set amount of bullets. Oops, that's just a bullet sound effect. Whoa, 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 whoa. I didn't, sorry. Right, I know why that's happened. Sorry about that, guys. I didn't realize. I do apologize. I had made a mistake. Yeah, I have this in here, which has messed it up. So there is some heavy, I think I might have to work on that off stream. Way too dang. Yeah. Yeah, sorry about the flashing. That was a mistake there. So yeah, there we go. We won't do that again. So we can just spawn in a rock, and I think obviously if I press 2 again, I think it's just going to keep spawning more. Yeah. You can see that it's spawned 2 on top of each other, and then 3. They're all spawning in the same place because I haven't changed. Things around. So, what are we doing next? Yeah, let's bring back our regular scene rather than our debug scene, because that's the debug scene, that one. And where have I put it? Nice balls indeed. Okay, so I'm going to comment that out. I'm going to build the scene, the regular one. So for those who are wondering, like, what is this? Oh, I spaced things out. Nope. I realize I only have 60. Let's go with 9,000. Yeah, let's go with something a bit crazy here, because we need to have a bit of wiggle room. So I'm just going to build the scene. That was, so originally it was 8,888 stuff. But if we're going to have more than just rocks and that, we need more than just 8,888. But we also need to make sure that we don't do this all the way to the end. So I'm going to say we're going to need, you know, total rocks or something. Total rocks for now, and that is also going to be 8,888, but whoops, that's my Windows noise. Okay, what are you? You shouldn't be complaining anymore. And this is going to be, let's just say 9,000. Oh, there's an equal sign here. There we go. Let's get rid of that. Didn't see that. So now we have a couple of extra entities to play with. Not that much more, relatively speaking. So we should have a bit of extra wiggle room. And we should be able to spawn in our extra rock as a test. So for that, like I said, for those who are wondering, I can turn on, this is the debug geometry to show me where the collision detection meshes are, which I wrote myself. But you know, you would see the things like this, right, a bit differently. And we have rubber ducks everywhere. So if I press 2, yep, we are spawning in a rock, which is perfect because that's what we need to try and do. Can we get a combined chat on the side? Yeah, I'll look into that. I think I need to talk to some Twitch streamers about how to stream Twitch properly. We have, for those who've just come from a raid, we've had to restart the Twitch stream about four or 3 times. I can't remember, 3 times perhaps. Due to the fact that OBS was just not broadcasting to Twitch. And I am on YouTube as well, so that's why I'm talking to like 2 chats at the same time. But I should try and make a combined. But I'll talk to someone about that who knows what they're doing. Because I honestly, when it comes to, despite having done like 100 streams now, I still feel like I have no clue what's going on. Living on a prayer. Hope and a prayer our streams are run on. Anyway, so now we can start worrying about building up our bullets, which are just going to be reused over and over again once they've been fired out into space. Fortunately, we can do that in a game, which is good. And okay, so here's where we started. We started to add bullets in, but we didn't finish because I needed to do that spawn thing. And I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make probably 40 bullets in the same way I make the rocks, right? But I think I'm just going to make them as rocks right now and worry about the model later. Excuse me just a moment. Be right back. Okay, gotta be the guy down at chat. Alright, I'm gonna have to leave it here. Something's come up. It's basically, I've pushed my luck with the amount of time of streaming, but we've got something spawning in. We've fixed textures. We have the normal maps working. We've reduced the amount of overhead. We have the correct models. We've done quite a lot today. The code, for anyone who's interested, is in the live stream, right? Sorry, in the live stream description. So yeah, thanks for coming in. Thanks for the new raiders. I hope you've enjoyed this stream. I do apologize it wasn't a long one for you guys. But yeah, thanks TT for the stream. I will quickly try and raid someone cool. I won't think about it too hard this time. So I'm apparently not allowed. Well, it would be good not to stream. Give me a minute. My interface just real quick. I'll just I don't know how to do this any other way. Actually, what am I doing? I can actually just do it on my laptop. So let's just pick someone to watch on here. Thank you for the follows, by the way. Who click the raid button? That will get us started. I don't really know many people on Twitch, so I'm just going to pick someone who looks kind of cool, whatever they're doing. I hope they're good. Once things come up. Let's just have the game running while we do this. I'm waiting for stuff to load. Looks like someone's trying to do a... We'll go with a good old VTuber. How's that sound? Sounds good. I'm just going to go there. Alright. Thanks, guys. Wish you all the best. Take care of yourselves. And I'll see you all soon. Alright. Thank you for joining us. I will see you later. I assume we're raiding. Okay. Alright.